Mill Race Park in Columbus, Indiana is quiet now. Families walk its trails. Kids fish along the riverbanks. It's the last place you'd expect a monster story to begin. But in November of 1974, this peaceful park became the center of fear, panic, and one of the strangest mass hunts in American history. A creature was reported in the woods. Tall, hairy, and green-faced. And whatever it was, people were convinced it was real. To understand why this legend took hold, you have to understand Columbus in the 1970s. This was a quiet Midwestern town, industrial, religious, grounded. Not a place known for hysteria or tall tales. Mill Race Park sat at the confluence of the Driftwood and Flat Rock rivers. Wooded, shadowy, largely unlit at night. A place where sound travels strangely. Where shapes move in the trees. And on the afternoon of November 1st, 1974, something, or someone, was seen. At around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Columbus police received a call. 2 women driving near the boat ramp along the White River reported seeing what they described as a monster. They said it stood 6 to 7 feet tall, walked upright, and was covered in dark hair. Its face, they said, was pale, almost green. Police rushed to the scene. They searched the area. They found nothing. But that wasn't the end of it. Later that same evening, a second group of women had a far more terrifying encounter. As they drove near the wooded area where the Driftwood and Flat Rock rivers meet, something ran toward their car. It jumped onto the hood. It clawed at the windshield. And then it vanished into the trees. When police examined the vehicle, they found deep scratches carved into the metal. This wasn't just a story anymore. One of the witnesses, Tyra Cataline, would later say, "We thought we were going to die." By November 5th, the story had spread beyond Columbus. 2 men reported seeing a large, hairy figure near the park's covered bridge, first during the day and again later that night when they returned with binoculars. Around the same time, reports of UFO sightings were flooding in from across the Midwest. Some locals began to connect the dots. Was the creature Bigfoot? An escaped animal? A prank? Or was it something left behind by extraterrestrials? The theories spiraled. And so did the fear. Then came the report that many say changed everything. On November 8th, city dog catcher Rick Duckworth and his colleague John Brown were dispatched to Mill Race Park to rescue 2 cats stuck in a tree. What they saw instead startled them. Duckworth described a tall figure, wrapped in what appeared to be green blankets, with long reddish hair. When it noticed them, it ran. Not stumbled. Not limped. It bolted into the woods as fast as a deer. Even the cats, once rescued, ran off in terror. Duckworth later said the encounter deeply shook him. That same day, a local woman called police after hearing noises in her garage. Her son claimed he saw the creature inside. By mid-November, the sightings were no longer isolated. Mill Race Park was no longer quiet. Dozens, sometimes hundreds, of people showed up after dark. Flashlights cut through the trees. Some carried clubs. Others carried knives. A few even brought guns. Monster hunters had arrived. Police became less concerned about the creature itself and more concerned about what people might do to each other. The park was barricaded and officially closed from dusk until dawn. Officer Kenneth St. John was humorously assigned the title of Monster Control Officer to handle the flood of calls and media inquiries. But the tension was very real. Columbus daily newspaper, The Republic, finally stepped in. They published an editorial titled, "Enough's Enough," criticizing the hysteria and urging residents to stay home. Letters to the editor followed, some mocking the hunt, others defending it. Still the fear lingered. Footprints were reported. Strange noises continued. And no one ever came forward to admit responsibility. By late November, the sightings began to fade. The park committee jokingly placed a monster roast on its agenda, signaling the official end of the panic. Police quietly concluded the incident was likely a prank. But there was a problem. No costume was ever found. No suspect ever confessed. And some witnesses never changed their story. Decades later, newspaper editor and county historian Harry McCauley would recall the incident on the television series Monsters and Mysteries in America, calling it the largest monster hunt in U.S. history. So what really haunted Mill Race Park in November of 1974? A monster? A man in disguise? Or a perfect storm of fear, imagination, and darkness? For some, the answer doesn't matter. Because eyewitnesses like Tyra Cataline remain certain. It was something, she said. I don't know what it was, but it wasn't somebody wearing a costume. And if you walk Mill Race Park after sunset, when the trees are still, and the river goes quiet, you might understand why the legend never truly left.